Welcome to Sriman IT. This is Ramchandra. In this video, I'm going to discussing about a very important entry question for freshers as well as experienced people also. And this concept we are going to use regularly in our project development process, either knowingly or unknowingly. So what is that concept? Our concept is, or our entry question is, what is method overriding? What is method overriding? So first let me define the definition. The process of writing same method within the super and subclasses is called method overriding. The process of writing same method within the super and subclasses is called method overriding. So whenever we define the definition like this, then definitely we will get the doubt. Writing the same method within the super and subclasses. So by seeing these three words, suddenly we will get the doubt. What is the use of inheritance? That means once we writing the method in the super class, then automatically coming to what? Subclass. That is what exactly one of the object-oriented principle like inheritance is exposing to us, is explaining to us. Then why are you writing the same method within the super and subclasses? Here the intention is the process of writing the same method within the superclass and subclass means what? You are not the same coding. The process of writing the same method within the super and subclass with different logics. With the different logic is called method overriding. Then again, once we define the definition like this, again one more doubt will rise in our mind. One more doubt will rise in my mind, in our mind. What is that? Then why do you use the same method? If you want to writing two different logic in super and subclasses, it's better to take two different methods. Why do we hit or why do we choose same method itself? Yeah, understand. There is one mobile. Why do we use same method for writing different logic within the super and subclasses? Why do we writing the same method to define different logics in the super and subclasses? For example, we have a mobile. What is that mobile? Redmi Note 6 Pro. There is a mobile like Redmi Note 6 Pro, which is providing some megapixel. It is providing some option. It is providing some service. It is providing some service like camera service. It is providing some camera service. What are the megapixels do we have in the Redmi Note 6 up here? Once you click on Redmi Note 6 Pro, then it will display the information. What is that information? Yeah, there is a camera option, 12 megapixels. One camera is what here? 12 megapixels. Okay, Redmi Note 6 Pro camera provides how many megapixels? 12 megapixels. Okay. Then I want to shoot one short film with mobile like Redmi Note 6 Pro. But 12 megapixel is not suitable to or sufficient to shoot a short film. Then what we have to do? Are we adjusted with this 12 megapixels and shoot a short film? Are we compromised to shoot a short film? Assume that is our life. One director life. then is the director is going to compromise to shoot a short film by using 12 megapixels camera? No, is not compromise his thoughts. Definitely will go for more clarity of camera, but assume that particular director doesn't have money, then is unable to put more money like 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh of money to purchase a new digital camera like that. Then instead of purchasing a film camera, is going to purchasing one new mobile. What is that new mobile? Redmi Note 10 Pro. Redmi Note 10 Pro. So same brand, a different version. A extended and enhancement feature of Redmi Note 6 Pro. So Redmi Note 10 Pro is the enhancement product of Redmi Note 6 Pro. Enhancements, nothing but on top of Redmi Note 6 Pro, which one was designed here? Redmi Note 10 Pro. Then once we writing like once Redmi Note 10 Pro design on top of the Redmi Note 6 Pro, then whatever the service available in the Redmi Note 6 Pro like a camera, that service coming to what here Redmi Note 10 Pro according to inheritance. But here that camera services is not sufficient to shoot a short film. Understand or not? Then what happened? A new camera option as service as what here camera only. We can't change the name of that services. Now here camera megapixel is what here 64 megapixel. Camera megapixel is what here 64 megapixel. Let me open Note 10 Pro. Then what is the camera? Come on, 64 megapixel quad rear camera with something we have. So in the Redmi Note 6 it is 12. In the Redmi Note 10 it is the 64. Option is what here? Camera option only. In both the scenario, option is what here? Camera only. In both the scenario, services is what here? Camera only. Service is not going to change. Only number of megapixels are changed. Clarity of the camera has changed in the Redmi Note 10 Pro. So this concept is called method overriding. Already one method is there. That method we can't use. That method logic we can't use in the subclasses. That method logic is not suitable to work within the subclasses. That method is not suitable to our requirement. If the method logic is not suitable to our requirement, can we able to adjust it with that method logic? No. We are going to write a new logic. Then are you going to change the services? In Redmi Note 6 Pro to shoot a short film, what we require camera. In Redmi Note 10 Pro also what camera services is same. Only implementation is different. This is what exactly calling as method overriding. So it is a simple to understand by using real life example. Then how do you understand this example? This example by using programmatically in Java. So very simple. Let me take one class. So let me take one package like in.srimanit.cj. It is my package name. Now there is a class public class, okay, public class product. So here we have some variable. What is that? Int private string product name. private string product name. Okay, private double product price, private double product price. Now I'm going to initialize these values from the outside of the class by using product construct of two arguments. So this is what your product name, this is the product name, and this is what your product price. Okay, private variable we can able to access from the outside of the class in three ways. One is by using setters and getters, second one is by using constructors, third one is by using reflection API. Now here I want to represent the class level variable. You guys know that how to represent the class level variable by using this. If you are using this means this product name is pointing to this one. So this is the product name, class level variable. Okay, to avoiding the errors, what I'm doing, just to copy paste that word. Next one, this dot product price equal to product price. Enough. That's enough. This is my product class, product dot java. So let me say on top of the desktop. Let me save this file on top of the desktop. Yeah, let me go and check. This is what your product.java. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm taking one more class. I'm taking one more class, public. I'm taking one more class, package. This is what com dot product. That's enough. Some package com dot product. I'm taking one class like public class product info is our class. So to run our core Java program, we guys know this. We required main method public static void main string array s. Now I'm going to save this file. I'm going to save this file. Control C, Control S, Control V dot Java. Yes. Now what I'm doing, I'm creating an object for product. Product pro equal to new product. What is the product? What is the product? Very simple. Vivo V21 5G. Vivo V21 5G mobile. This is the product name. And product cost is 32,500 rupees. 32,500 rupees. Let me save this. So let me go with the command prompt. CD desktop, clear the screen, java c -d dot prod.java. Is there any problem? Yes. What is that? End of the product price we have to write a semicolon. Is everything clear? What is that? Public product keyword. Just syntax mistake. That's enough. Cool. Now I'm going to use this product. I'm going to create this product object in which class? Product info class. So let me import that class. What is the class name? In dot Sriman id dot cj dot product. In dot Sriman in dot. Otherwise, let me copy this package name. Let me copy this package name and paste here. What is the class name here? Product. Good. So let me compile this program. Java C -d dot product info dot Java. Is there any problem? No problem. Java com dot product info. What happened? See, Java com dot what is the class? Product dot product info. Yeah. Product info. So small. What is this? Product info. Or INO. I use it. Better to go with that INO only. No problem. INO. Yeah. No, I didn't get any output. Our program is successfully compiled and executed. Previously, I extra mention N here. My class name is product INO. Here I mention info. That is only the thing. Now observe here clearly. I'm creating an object for product pro. Now system dot out dot println. I'm printing pro. Nothing but I'm printing reference variable. If you're printing reference variable, in the reference variable what we have? In the reference variable what we have? This object we have. So let us check what we are going to get. Let us check what we are going to get. We are going to get output like in dot Sriman IT dot CJ dot product at the rate of memory in hexadecimal format. Sir, what happened here? We are just printed PRO. It is not going to print our content. Yes. Why? See the note. Whenever we call println method, to print reference, then internally println method calls toString method. Internally println method calls toString method to print that referenced variable details. Okay, internally println method will calls toString method. So pro is going to hold product class memory. So it is going to search. toString method is going to search in which class? Product class. Do you have any toString method here? No. We know this. Every class is the subclass of what here? Every class is the subclass of java.langdata_object. Then automatically control going to where here? Object class. Then object class toString method is going to executing. Object class toString method is executing. See, object class toString method is executing. So this is the object class. This is what here? Product class. This is what here? Object class. Okay, in the object class we have a method. What is the method? Public string toString, and it is going to return, what is that? Get class dot get name, get class dot get name plus at the rate symbol plus integer dot to hex string of hash code. This is what exactly logic which is available in public class toString method, available in superclass toString method. So internally this logic will executing and it is going to print output like a package name dot class name, memory in hexadecimal format. So I don't want to print my details like this. I don't want to print my object details like this. But internally it will call toString method. It is going to print like that only. Why internally object class toString method is going to executing? The reason is in our product class we don't have toString method. Product extends of object. Why toString method is calling from product? The reason is it is a logic which is already given by the Java in the println method. So whenever we printing any reference variable internally, it will call the toString method. Then what is the proof? Then what is the proof? Observe here. So println method internally, whenever we printing any reference, nothing but object. Whenever we printing any object, internally it will calls what here? Value of method. String class value of method. String class value of method internally calling what? toString method. Public string toString return get class dot get name. Whatever the thing we return, the same thing is available in here also. Got it or not? So will you please observe here, what is this object dot class? What is this object dot class? In the object dot class file, nothing but in the object class we have a toString method. So this logic is going to executing, and finally we got output like this. Method is going to print output like this. toString method logic is going to print output like package name dot class name at the rate memory in hexadecimal format. Memory in hexadecimal format. But I don't write. But I don't require this logic. This output I don't require. I want to print product information. If you want to print product information, then write that logic in our product class. Very happy. Write that logic. What is that logic? Product. Sorry, public string my logic. There is a method like my logic. Here I'm written like product. Here I'm written like a product name. Okay, product name plus product price. Product name plus product price. Observe here, this is product name plus product price. So if you are doing any modification in one class, again we have to do recompilation. So let me compile my product class. Good. And again recompile my product info.java. Excellent. Now let me execute it. Yeah. Again we got output like what here? Same int.srimanit.c product or something. I don't require like this, sir. Already we written our logic. Whatever logic I written. What is our requirement? To print product name and product price. If you observe online, whenever we clicking on, for example, this is what website. Now I'm clicking on this Redmi Note 6 Pro Blue. So whenever I'm clicking on image, what it will display like? Redmi Note 6 at the rate of memory in hexadecimal format? No, it will print what? All that mobile details. In the same manner, whenever I'm printing the product, I don't want to print what? I don't want to print this reference value. Nothing but package name, class name, memory in hexadecimal format. I want to print the content. Already written that logic to print the content. Yes, I written this logic, but it is not executing. Why? Yes, println method not calling my logic method. Println method not calling my logic method. Println calling internally calling. Println method internally calling which method? toString method. Internally calling toString method. Already in the object class we have a toString method. The same toString method I am writing in our classes also. This concept we are technically calling as method overriding. So if you observe the diagram, you can easily understand. Already toString method is available in the superclass like object. The same toString method we are going to write in our classes also. That we are technically calling as method overriding. Will you please go through our definition again? So the process of writing the same method, toString, where in superclass and subclass, yes, in the toString method available in the object class, available in the product class. Same method we are writing in the super and subclass. Product extends of object. Object is the superclass. Product is what here? Subclass. Same method we are writing in super and subclass with the same logic or different logic? Different logic. This nature we are technically calling as, this process or this concept, this attempt we are technically calling as method overriding. This is one of the very, very important topic while developing the projects as well as in the entry room also. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe Sriman IT YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe and clicking on bell icon. If you like this video, please share. Thank you.